Hello everyone, this is Dr. D. Pramila Jnanarani, your biology teacher. Hope you're all enjoying the day. Let us begin our session with a little bit of joy and happiness. In this session, you are going to learn about transportation in human. So, before moving on to this session, let us have a short recap of what we have learnt in the last session. Now, in the last session, children, we learnt about respiration, the definition of respiration, the types of respiration, respiratory organs, and human respiration. I hope you're all thorough with respiration chapter. Now, let us move on to the next topic, that is today's topic, transportation. Here in this chapter, we are going to learn about transportation, the definition of transportation, the components involved in transportation system. Now coming to the definition. Now let me ask you one question, children. How do you come to school from your home, and how do you get your letters which is written by your friends who are residing far away from you? Now, how do you go and visit your grandparents? Yeah, your guess is right. Through vehicles, through transport system. So, any substance that carries you, or any material or any vehicle that carries you from one place to another is called as a transport system. In the same way, our body also has two transport systems, namely the blood vascular system and the circulatory system. The blood vascular comprises of the blood vessels, and the heart. The lymphatic system consists of the lymph vessels, lymph capillaries, lymph nodes, and the lymph glands. Now, here in this session, we are going to learn only about the blood and blood vessels in the blood vascular system and lymphatic system. The heart will be going on in detail in the next session. Hope you're all enjoying my session. Now let us move on to the blood. Blood, as what you all know, that it is a fluid connective tissue. It has free access to move throughout our body. It has few components, namely the plasma, red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, and platelets. Now, plasma is a protein compound. Red blood corpuscles are non-nucleated and they have an iron pigment called as hemoglobin, which has an affinity to take the oxygen. So it has an affinity towards oxygen. Now the red blood corpuscles or RBCs are otherwise termed as erythrocytes. Now coming on to WBCs or white blood corpuscles or leukocytes. They are nucleated and they are in different forms. Now, one speciality of WBC cells are they have amoeboid movement. And not only that, they are referred as the soldiers of the immune system. The last one are the platelets. The platelets are referred as thrombocytes and they help in blood clotting. Here in this picture, children, you can clearly observe the red blood cells, the plasma, the white blood cells, and the platelets. I hope it is clear for you to see. Now let us move on to the next topic, the functions of blood. Blood helps in the transportation of respiratory gases, namely the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. Now the blood carries oxygen from the lungs to the tissues for cellular respiration. Now after the oxidation of glucose, it carries carbon dioxide and brings it to the lungs for further purification. So here, as it brings into the lungs, the carbon dioxide is let out in the environment. The second, it helps in the transportation of nutrients. Third one, it helps in the transportation of waste products like urea. Now, the next one is it helps in defense mechanism. As I've already told you, it is referred as the WBC cells are referred as what? The soldiers of the immune system. So, one among the function of the blood is defense mechanism. And the last one, which is a very important thing, it is clotting. Blood clotting occurs when you get wounded. Okay, when you're running, if you fall down, what will happen? You get wounded. Some patch like red color patch like structure comes with a yellowish color. That is nothing but the yellowish color is the plasma protein, and the red blood cells they come, and then coagulation occurs because of what? The platelets or thrombocytes present in the body. Now let us move on to the next topic, the blood vessels. Here the blood vessels. What are blood vessels? They are nothing but the tube-like structures that carry the blood from one place to the another. It is called as blood vessels. Now, the blood vessels are of three kinds, namely arteries, veins, and capillaries. Let us move on to arteries. As what you see in the picture here, the red color structure depicts the artery and the blue color structure depicts the vein. Red color implies it is oxygenated blood and blue color implies deoxygenated blood. Arteries, as they carry oxygenated blood or oxygen rich blood, the blood pressure will be more. So, their walls should be thick. So, they have thick walled, and not only that, the blood pressure is what? High. Now coming to the next one, the vein. The veins, they carry deoxygenated blood, so less pressure will be there. So they are thin walled. So the veins are what? They have thin walled and low pressure. Now one more thing I wanted to tell you children. All the arteries, they carry oxygenated blood. But one odd man is there. You know what? Pulmonary artery does not carry oxygenated blood. It carries deoxygenated blood. In the same way, all the veins carry deoxygenated blood. But pulmonary vein alone carries oxygenated blood. Now coming to the third one, the capillaries. Capillaries are nothing but the network of artery and vein when they meet the organs. So, they are interconnection of or network of arteries and veins. Now, let us move on to the next topic, lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is one of the circulatory system. It is yellowish color in structure. Now, this lymphatic system is the second important circulatory system that permeates the entire human body. Here, you can see how the green color structures show the lymphatic system. So you can see that they are throughout the body. So that's why they are permeated entire the human body. Now the lymph is a light yellow colored mobile fluid connective tissue. And not only that, it has plasma, capillaries, vessels and nodes. Now coming to the lymph vessels. The lymph vessels actually they are large tubes not larger than 2 to 3 millimeter in diameter. And the functions of lymphatic systems are: lymph absorbs some of the fluid from the digestive tract, and it also passes proteins from circulation to tissues. And not only that, it also carries the digested fats. Then the lymph also drains excess fluid from extracellular spaces back into the blood. And the next, it carries carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste materials from tissues to the blood. It also protects the body by killing the germs. I hope you have all understood what I've taught you in this session. Meet you next time. Take care and then be happy. Thank you.